Good day, everyone. We are the Group 5 reporters. I am the first reporter. My name is Virgin Libersosa, number 44. Our topic is all about authentic and alternative assessment method. So first, let us know what is assessment. Assessment is defined as an act or process collecting and interpreting information about student learning. So assessment is a very powerful tool for educational improvement as it emphasizes on individual or groups of individuals to collect, gather, and interpret information about their learning. And assessment has different purposes, such as to provide feedback to students and to serve as a diagnostic tool for instruction. Kaya dito mo masasagot mga katanungan kung effective ba ang instruction and na-achieve ba ng students ang mga intended learning outcomes. So because of the assessment, it will help the teacher to understand their students, to plan and monitor their classroom instruction so that it will help their students to improve their learning. And assessment works best when the purpose is clear. So that is why we have 3 types of assessments. And those are the assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning. Assessment of learning is to evaluate learning at the end of the instructional unit. This is to assess the teachers in using evidence of student learning to assess achievement against outcomes and standards. So this will happen at the end of the instructional unit. So the best example of that is a summative test, and another example are the major exams that we take. And the next one is assessment for learning. It monitors students' learning as basis for teaching improvements. So this assessment is an ongoing assessment na nagbibigay insights sa mga teachers to adjust or to modify their instruction so that they will able to meet the needs of the learners. And example of this is the formative test or the quizzes after the discussion of the lesson. So this is happening during the instructional process. And the last one is assessment of learning. This is very understandable because it occurs when students monitor their own learning and progress. The example of that is reflective and self-test. Because aside from achieving the outcomes, the student will be able to develop critical thinking, goal setting, and problem-solving skills. So now let's move to the authentic assessment. Authentic assessment is a form of assessment in which students demonstrate meaningful application of knowledge and skills by performing real-world tasks. So, dito sa authentic assessment, they allow the students to discuss, explore, and construct concepts in relationship to the context that involve real-world problems and projects that are relevant to them. And why do we use authentic assessment? Because authentic assessment provides students a chance to apply what they learned. And the best example of that is the process of dissecting a prompt. Instead of writing it on a paper, they will go to the laboratory and do the experiment on how to dissect a prompt using their knowledge and skills to do the task. And authentic assessment is designed to be criterion reference, which sabihin by individual rather than norm reference or group or by group. And such evaluation, it identifies the strengths and weaknesses but does not compare or rank students because in authentic assessment, they allow the students to and they let the students to show their skills and their competencies, not just their knowledge, because not all students are good in within tasks, but some are good in skills. And authentic assessment, when applied to students, they will diminish the fear of tests because there are students fear of the test, just like taking the quiz. And when you're going to give them a chance to act or show their skills and competencies, they will not only lessen their fear but also improve their self-confidence and self-esteem. Remember that there are students na mas matututo in Act 1 rather than on memorization, or based on the theories na maaaring mahantong sa lifelong learning. So that's all.
Good day everyone, my name is Marian Karina, number 37. What does authentic assessment look like? Authentic assessment usually includes a task for students to perform and do grades by which their performance on the task will be evaluated. Presentations are the most common method of authentic assessment. Any task given to the student must be well designed to assess their ability to apply standard given knowledge and skills to real-world challenges. So, authentic assessment is a method of evaluating student learning by focusing on real-world tasks and application rather than traditional tests. It emphasizes critical thinking, problem solving, collaborations, and ability to apply knowledge and practical context. Authentic assessments are designed to reflect how students will use their skills and knowledge in genuine situations outside the classroom. Rubrics. An assessment proves that learning indicates achievement critical across all the components of any kind of student's work, from written to oral to visual. It is scoring tool that lists the material for a piece of work or what. It can guide learning to focus their efforts and self-assess their own work prior to submissions. It has three parts. First, performance criteria. Second, rating skills. And the last is description and indicators. So, rubrics is a scoring tools or guideline used to assess and evaluate a student's work. Performance or assignment is outlined. Specific criteria and expectation for an assignment and describe different level of performance for each criterion, usually with corresponding point, values, or description. Rubrics helps ensure consistency, transparency, and fairness in grading by proving clear expectation for both students and educators. Advantages. Promote higher order thinking skills, improve communication. Advantages are the positive benefits, opportunities, or variable factors that give someone or something a better change of success. Negative are desirable outcomes in particular situation. Disadvantages, difficult to grade, time consuming. So, disadvantages are the negative aspect, drawback or limitations associated with the situation, decisions, action, or conditions. They represent challenges, obstacles, or factors that can lead to optimal outcomes.
Good day, everyone. So my name is Alvin Serdoman. My attendance number is number 41. So my report is all about alternative assessment. So I'm going to read the description first. An assessment in which students create an original response to answer a certain question. Student responds to a question using their own ideas in their own words. So this thing means that alternative assessment is a type of evaluation where students show what they know and understand by creating something original. Instead of choosing from multiple choice answer or fill in the blanks, students use their own words, ideas, and creativity to respond to a question or solve a problem. So for example, in creating a poster, in a science class, students are asked to create a poster explaining the water cycle. They must draw diagram, write description in their own words, and use example from their surroundings to show how the cycle works. And another example is by writing a letter. So, in a history class, students imagine that they are living during American Revolution. They write a letter to the family member describing the events they are experiencing and expressing their personal feeling about this situation. Using historical facts they learn. So, there are five components of alternative assessment. So, A is assessment is based on authentic tasks that demonstrate students' ability to accomplish communication goals. So this type of assessment, evaluates students through real work or meaningful tasks that show how well they can use their skills to achieve specific communication goals. Instead of focusing on the theoretical knowledge, it assesses their ability to apply what they've learned in practical or authentic situations. For example, in a language class, students are asked to plan and deliver a short presentation about their favorite hobby. The task tests their ability to organize their thoughts, use proper vocabulary, and communicate their ideas clearly to an audience, just as they would in a real life scenario. So B is the teacher and students focus on communication, not on right and wrong answer. So this approach emphasizes the process of communication rather than just finding the correct answer. The goal is to encourage students to express their thoughts, share ideas, and engage in meaningful dialogue without fear of making mistakes. It fosters a supportive environment where the focus is on learning and improving communication skills rather than achieving perfection. So, for example, in a group discussion about environmental issue, students share their opinion and suggest solutions. The teacher does not correct every mistake in grammar or vocabulary but encourage students to explain their ideas clearly and listen to others. That emphasizes is on exchanging ideas and improving their ability to express themselves. So C is students help the teacher to set the criteria for successful completion of communication tasks. So this approach involves students in deciding how their communication tasks will be evaluated. By working with teacher to set the criteria for success, students gain a clearer understanding for goal and take ownership of their learning. It also ensures that the assessment is fair and meaningful to both the teacher and the student. So, for example, in a debate activity, the teacher asks students to help decide the criteria for success. So together, they agree that participants will be evaluated on clarity of speech, ability to support the arguments with evidence, respectful listening, and effective rebuttal. This collaboration ensures that students know what is expected and feel involved in the process. So, in the last component of alternative assessment is students have opportunities to assess themselves and their peers. So, this approach allows students to evaluate their own work and the work of their peers. Self-assessment helps students reflect on their strengths and areas for improvement, while peer assessment teaches them to give constructive feedback Both practices encourage active learning and help students develop critical thinking and collaborative skills. So, for example, in a writing assignment, students are asked to write a short story. After submitting their draft, they review their own work using a checklist, like for example, the grammar, the creativity, and the structure of their story. And then they exchange stories with classmates and provide feedback, such as noting strong points and suggesting areas for improvement. This process helps them learn from others and improve their own writing. So that's end my report, and the next reporter is Miss Sarte.
So good day everyone, my name is Iris Sarte and my attendance is number 42. So our alternative method of assessing learning. So the first one is performance-based assessment. Performance-based assessment or evaluation methods that require students to demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and understanding by creating a product, performing a task, or solving a complex problem. So, performance-based assessment is a type of evaluation that does not just focus on testing or assessing students through questions and answers. Instead, it evaluates how students demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and understanding by actually doing something. So, there are three examples of performance-based assessment. So, creating a product. So, for example, students may be tasked with a project such as making a poster, creating a model, or preparing a presentation. By creating this product, they demonstrate their ability to apply what they learn into a concrete form. So, performing a task. So, for example, in a class in science, in a science class, so students will conduct an experiment on and show how they follow the steps of a scientific process. So, this focuses on how they use their skills and knowledge to perform the task. So, or solving a complex problem. So, for example, in a math or science class, a student may be asked to solve a complex problem that requires analysis and creative solutions. In this type of assessment, the focus is not just on the correct answer, but also on the process of thinking and how they arrive at that solution. So the second one is portfolio assessment. Portfolio assessment is a systematic longitudinal collection of students' work created and response to specific known instructional objectives and evaluated in relation to the same criteria. So, active learning, it requires students to do more than just memorize information and they apply it in the real world situation. So, skill development. And three skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and teamwork. So, this type of assessment allows students to showcase their talents and abilities in more creative ways. So, the last one is portfolio is a purposeful collection of students' work that exhibits the students' effort, progress, and achievements in one or more areas over a period of time. So, it ensures the growth and development of students. So, portfolio assessment is defined as the systematic longitudinal collections. So, it is a process or organized and follows a clear structure. Ano to siya ang systematic? So, ang longitudinal is, it happens over a period of time tracking student progress and development. So, the last and working Student working. So it includes artifacts or output, assignment, project, or other evidence of learning. So instructional objectives. The work aligned with specific learning goals or the outcome. So, ang evaluation really is a portfolio assessment card. The collected work is assessed based on predetermined criteria. So, na examples dere. So, ang example is, first is art portfolio. So, a student in an art class implies sketches, paintings, and sculptures over the semester. So, the portfolio demonstrates their growth and techniques, creativity, and ability to meet assignments criteria. So, the second one is writing portfolio. So, in English class, a student collect essays or journal. So, entries and creative writing samples throughout the year. So, each pieces showcase improvements in grammar, style, argument, or development. So, the third one is project-based learning portfolio. So, for example, and final project presentation. So, they show their application of scientific principles, research, skills, and teamwork. And the last one is teacher portfolio. So, a teacher training complies lesson plans, teaching, reflection, and student feedback forms. So, the portfolio highlights their instructional strategies and areas of growth. So, why use portfolio assessment? So, it provides a comprehensive view of learning over the time and encourage student reflection on their progress. And the last one is support individualized feedback and design improvement.
So, good day, sir. My name is Aldea Kital, number 39. So, classroom assessment. Classroom assessment is both a teaching approach and a set of techniques. The approach is that the more you know about what and how students are learning, the better you can plan learning activities to structure your teaching. The techniques are mostly simple, non-graded, anonymous in-class activities that give both you and your students useful feedback on the teaching learning process. So, classroom assessment is like a tool for teachers to improve how they teach and help students learn better. So it has two parts. So the idea of it is that teachers understand what students are learning and how they're learning. They can plan lessons better. So the second one is the techniques. So these are simple activities done during class. They're not graded, don't require students' names, and are free. They help both teachers and students see what's working and what needs improvement in the learning process. So, the classroom assessment technique is all about getting feedback to make learning more effective. So, in these techniques, a teacher uses variety of tools and practices that allow them to access accurate and relevant information about the quality of his teaching as well. So, these techniques involve using different tools and methods to gather useful information. So this information helps them understand how well their students are learning and how effective their teaching methods are. So by using these techniques or tools rather, teachers can see what's working in the classroom and what needs to change to make learning better for everyone. So next is frequent use of CATs also can assure students that the instructor takes a genuine, active interest in their learning process throughout the course, before the summative assessment is given at the end of the term. So, using the classroom assessment techniques regularly shows students that the teacher truly cares about their learning. It helps students feel supported and ensures that the teacher is actively involved in helping them improve throughout the course. So, this feedback happens before the final test or grade at the end of the term. So, students can still adjust and improve as they go. So the next one is the instructor can use this feedback to inform instruction, such as speeding up or slowing the pace of lectures or explicitly addressing areas of confusion. So the teacher can use feedback for CATs to adjust their teaching. For example, if students are struggling, the teacher might slow down the pace or go over the topic again. Or on the other hand, if students understand the material well, the teacher might speed up the lectures or move on to more advanced topics. So the goal of this is to make sure that the lessons are at the right level for everyone.
Good day, everyone. My name is Isa Sardoma, attendance number 5. How is it different? Classroom assessment differs from tests and other forms of students' assessment in that it is aimed at course improvement rather than at assigning grades. The primary goal is to better understand your students' learning and so improve your. So it means that classroom assessment focuses on checking how well students are learning during the course to make teaching better. It's not about giving grades, not about finding ways to help students learn more effectively. Teachers use it to see what is working and what needs to be improved in their teaching method. So next. How does instructors benefit from CAT or classroom assessment techniques? So first is provide short-term feedback about day-to-day learning and teaching process at a time when it is still possible to make mid-course correction. So it means that classroom assessment gives quick feedback about how students are learning and how teaching is going. This feedback comes while the course is still happening. So the teacher can adjust their methods or lessons right away to help students learn better. So next is provide useful information about students learning with a much lower investment of time compared to tests, paper, and other traditional means of learning assessment. So it means that using alternative methods to assess students' learning, such as quizzes, group discussions, or peer assessment, can provide useful insight into how much students have learned. These methods typically require less time to implement than traditional tests or papers, which can be time-consuming to grade and evaluate. So next is helps to foster good rapport with students and increase the efficacy of teaching and learning. So it means that classroom assessment helps build a positive relationship between teachers and students by showing that teacher cares about their progress. It also encourages that idea teaching is an ongoing process that improves with input from students, making learning more effective for everyone. So, and the last is encourages the view that teaching is a formative process that evolves over time with feedback. So it means that teaching is often seen as a process that develops and improves over time rather than something fixed from the start. So teachings grow and change in their approach. Learning from their experiences, student feedback, and the result of their teaching, feedback, whether from students, peers, or self-reflection, helps teachers adjust and refine their methods to better meet student needs. So that's all.
Good day everyone. My name is Dennis Rana. How do your learning benefit from classroom assessment techniques? Helps them to become better monitors of their own learning. Classroom assessment techniques provide learners with regular feedback about their understanding and progress. This encourages them to reflect on their learning strategies, identify areas of improvement, and take active steps address gaps, and foster self-awareness of help them to develop better learning habits. Next, let's break down feelings of unliking, especially and larger cars. In a larger classroom, students often will overlook or significant tasks, encourage active participation and personalized engagement which can make learner feel seen and valued. This reduces the sense of isolation and helps build a more inclusive learning environment. The next point of the need to the alternate study skills. Student learning approach by highlighting specific areas where they struggle. This feedback can guide them to modify or adapt more effective study techniques such as time management, note taking, or focus review sessions. Points of the need provides concrete evidence that the instructor cares about learners. When instructors discuss, they demonstrate a genuine interest in understanding student needs and helping them succeed. This creates a supportive learning environment and boosts student motivation, know that their progress is valued and monitored by the instructor. Three basic questions to us are: what are the essential skills and knowledge I'm trying to teach? Number two, how can I find out whether students are learning them? Number three, how can I help the student learn better? Next, the basic steps in a classroom assessment techniques. 1. Choose a learning goal to access. 2. Choose an assessment technique. 3. Apply the technique or analyze the data and share the result with students. 5. Respond to the data.
Good day, I am Editor Sanoy, number 39. Examples of classroom assessment techniques. The background knowledge through is a short, simple questionnaire given to a student at the start of a course or before the introduction of a new unit, lesson, or a topic. This technique helps us as teacher discover what students already know about the topic. Before starting a new lesson, students answer a few questions about the topic, allowing the teacher to identify misconceptions or gaps in understanding. And next is minute paper. Minute paper tests how students are gaining knowledge or not. The instructor ends class by asking students to write a brief response to the following questions. What was the most important thing you learned during this class? And what important question remains unanswered? The muddiest point is one of the simplest CAT to help assess where students are having difficulties. The technique consists of asking students to jot down a quick response to one question. What was the muddiest point in the lecture, discussion, homework, assignment, film, and etc.? The term muddiest means most unclear or the most confusing. What's the principle CAT is useful in courses requiring problem solving? After students figure out what type of problem they are dealing with, they often must decide what principles to apply in order to solve the problem. This CAT provides students with a few problems and asks them to state the principle that best applies to each problem. Defining features matrix. Prepare a handout with a matrix of their 3 columns and several rows. At the top of the first 2 columns, list 2 distinct concepts that have potentially confusing similarities. Hurricanes versus tornadoes. Picasso versus Matisse. In the 3rd column, list the important characteristics of both concepts in no particular order. Give your students the handout and have them use the matrix to identify which characteristics belongs to each of the two concepts. Collect their responses and you will quickly find out which characteristics are giving your students the most trouble. And this is the end of our report. Thank you for your listening.